Back with another one. I apologize to my audience, my followers, because I haven't posted in a while. I need to be more proactive and make sure I do that. That I get on here, and I expand with you guys and build with you guys, and just talk to you, candidly, truthfully, about what takes place in prisons and things of that nature and what's going on. So, yesterday, there were some indictments that came down in the death of Messiah Nantwi. He was the man that was murdered in Mid-State Correctional Facility, which is like literally down the street from Marcy Correctional Facility, where Robert Brooks was killed. So it's kind of weird, man, because it's like it's funny because Robert Brooks was killed, I believe in December, in Marcy Correctional Facility, and then March 1st, Messiah Nantwi is killed in Mid-State. And I'm not saying that it's funny as far as inmates being killed, because this happens a lot. This happens frequently. You all just don't hear about it because the cover-ups. You know what I mean? Like before this, there was no body cameras, so there's no body cameras. Nobody knows what's going on besides the victim's family, and it was falling upon deaf ears. Now you got the Attorney General, Letitia James. Now she want to release body cam footage, and the governor, Kathy Hochul, and all of them, and it's like, please, like you're trying to act like you're trying to reform and change something now, when you all have known about this. Because anytime somebody gets beat up and then they file a lawsuit, or the victim's family file a wrong death suit, the governor and the attorney general is also named in that lawsuit. So you guys have been knowing what's going on since you've been in office. This is not new to you. So don't act like, oh my God, we didn't know what was going on in there. Please, every governor before you, every attorney general before you knew about this. They just didn't care. They didn't care. You know what I mean? You know how much tax dollars, New York State tax dollars, was paying for lawsuits for these officers just whooping niggas' ass, killing them. Millions and millions of dollars have been paid out because of these barbarians. So I don't want to hear that. But anyways, so yesterday, 10 officers were indicted. I believe 2 were indicted on murder, and 8 other were indicted on like various other charges, like far as like tampering with evidence and shit like that. But they also were charged with gang assault, conspiracy. They was charged with a few things, and I'm happy about that. I really am, because for a long time it's been taking place. And then the prosecuting attorney stated how they tried to cover it up. There was a body cam that was purposely placed somewhere. It might be like the officer's mess hall or the locker room, something like that, so that it could record. And they didn't notice. So they're in there talking about it like, yeah, that's what we got to do. We got to go and we got to, plant, we planted the weapon in the cell, and that's how we're going to get him. And then we're going to go in there, we're going to fuck him up or kill him, the case may be, boom, boom, boom. They're talking about this on camera. And then on top of that, they got a little diner or restaurant that they all go to. They was down there at the little diner, correctional officers. They was there talking about how we're going to cover this up. Okay, this is our story. This is what we're going to go with, guys. This is what we're going to do. You know what I mean? This is how we're going to do it. The case may be, boom, boom, boom. Like, to the public, like, where's the outrage? Where's the outcry? I'm not surprised. Like I said, I've lived through this. I've experienced being set up, planting weapons in my cell, trying to jump on me. I've experienced this. And it's so normal and prevalent in every facility in New York State. I can't speak about other states. I ain't never been to the feds. Thankfully, I ain't never been to other states and been in their prison. But New York State prisons, This happens in every single prison. I'm serious. Like, it's just it just happens. It does. And I don't want to say it's a racial thing, but 9 times out of 10, it's white officers beating and killing a black person or a person of color, Latino, not too many Asian guys, but Latino or something like that, or you know what I mean. These are the people that they murder, maim, dismember, gang assault, any type of other assault you could think about. This is who they doing it to, and all these officers, or most of them, are white. So, I don't want to say it's racially motivated. What the hell, what is it? What else could it be? What could it be? Seriously, think about it. What else could it be? Like, if this happens in every prison in New York State, and the common denominators are the officers are white, and the prisoners are of color. They're black or they're Spanish. So the proof is in the pudding right there. I don't even gotta say it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even gotta say it. I'm pretty sure if all the prisoners was white and all the officers was white, you wouldn't have this much violence against prisoners at all. You just wouldn't. But anyway, so they did the autopsy, and it stated that he died from TBI, and what that stands for is traumatic brain injury. Like, they basically bludgeoned him to death, bashed his head in. And I think they said he had 69 other blows to his body, something like that you probably can actually see, like the discoloration and things of that nature. And it's like, wow. So I got a term that I want to say, and I might copyright this term right here. I call it systemic arrogance. Is what these officers have. They have systemic arrogance. Because when they first come in, I've seen it. Little skinny white boy, he's scary walking around. He's looking at all the prisoners, the big black eyes, and he's looking around like this. And the officers that are there, they teach him, this is how you move. You know what I'm saying? We run this shit in here. This is how you gotta be. You gotta walk with your chest out. You know what I mean? If somebody says something, you smack them. This is how we run it in here. They're teaching them systemic arrogance, so that gets passed down, and it's been getting passed down for decades. This isn't nothing new at all. You're just hearing about it now because there's body cameras. There's been cameras in the prison, and then like the prosecuting attorney said, there was cameras in the prison, but they make sure they take them to areas where there's no cameras, and then do this. So the only reason we're seeing it now is because of body cameras. And think about it. Why do they got body cameras on? Seriously, why just out the blue? Oh, just make them wear body cameras out the blue. Think about it. No, they're making them wear body cameras because prisoners kept complaining about being beaten, maimed, tortured by officers. So after a while, it's like, damn, we're hearing it so much. Like, okay, let's just really see what's going on in here. You know what I mean? Because like, we've been paying out millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars for decades. Let's just see what's going on here. That's why they're wearing body cameras now. And I gotta say, a lot of times the officers don't even get in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, they really don't. And 'cause it's kind of like you got officers, ex-officers or whatever, investigating officers. And they got this gang mentality where they're not gonna go against their own. So they come in here, oh yeah, nah, we find that Officer Dixon was he was justified in what he did, and breaking the guy's ribs and knocking his eyeball out, and he was justified in that. We find no fault on him. And this is why you got officers who get away with this. I'm serious. Like, I personally know officers who have bodies under their jacket. They're glorified. Where other officers are like, oh yeah, That's Iceman. He killed somebody in shop, man. And they found the kid, laying face down in the snow, man. That's what they call him, Iceman, man. He's a bad guy right there, man. They glorify these guys. This is what they do. And normally this would sound like some type of movie, where you got these vigilantes and stuff like that, and I don't know, maybe they got this Batman syndrome where they think that they're doing the right thing, even though they're doing it illegally, something like that. But that's completely not the fucking case. You guys are correction officers. You're in there to make sure the prisoners don't harm each other, harm themselves, and they rehabilitate or they do their programs. Security, that's it. They don't escape and shit like that. Your job is not to go in there, torture, beat, maim, kill. How do you even think that's your job? Seriously, how do you think that's your job? And they've been doing this for the longest. And then, they're getting prosecuted now, but they're still getting prosecuted with a soft glove. The reason why I say that is because the officers that killed Robert Brooks, for one, he got murdered in December. It took them months and months to indict these guys. Like, if you got footage of them beating this man to death, what else do you need? Oh, we got to do some more evidence and boom, 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 and we got to. Okay, granted. Okay, all right. So, okay. I'm gonna explain to you and them how it normally goes. How it normally goes when they know that you've done something, they come, they arrest you, and then they charge you with these things, and then they might come down later on, down the line with some more indictments, some more charges. That's simple. But they don't just let you eat with your family and, make love to your wife and drive your F-150 around and go to bars with your buddies and shit and play pool. And no, they lock your ass up and then they just keep on investigating while you're locked up. These guys are getting prosecuted with a soft glove. They're out enjoying life, and then when they do get indicted, they tell them, "Oh yeah, just come down to the, the state trooper barracks or the state police, and then do it like that." And you don't come and arrest these guys; they just turn yourself in, and then you give them a light bail for murder. I don't know, man. I'm from the hood. Like, hey, but I know I got charged with murder, man. Either they didn't get no bail or they bail was M's. I know I couldn't get. I wasn't even thinking about bail. I'm like, man, I ain't getting no damn bail. That's not even in the question. My bail had been like $2-3 million, but they bonding out with what the hell? They bond out with what? A 10,000 bond? Come on, that's a soft glove, man. That's a soft glove, man. That's real soft, man. Yeah. That's a soft glove, man. It is. It's like correction officers. They're just fucking immune of everything. Immune of real prosecution, immune of real accountability, immune of real laws that apply to everybody in society. Because nowhere can you just beat people, kill them, and then for decades, and then don't get arrested, don't get charged, and it's all good. Like, wow, it's crazy. But change is coming. I like that. Change is coming. Yeah, I like that. Lock their ass up. Lock them up. They are the most filthiest, dirtiest, crookedest people I've ever seen in my life. Don't get me wrong. I'm from like the worst parts, the worst hood. I'm from the slums where you walk down the street, you see crack vials in the 80s and baby diapers and females walking around with dirty or no clothes on and people getting knife fights and shit. I come from that era. I come from that place. And these officers were more greasy and grimy than the guys in those places. Seriously, you'd be like, damn, what's going on? I've met so many greasy, trifling people in my life. Wow, crazy, man. Because don't get me wrong, like I said before, the prisoners, they're in prison for a reason. Well, they committed a crime. Whatever the crime it could be murder, rape, selling drugs, armed robbery, whatever their charges, that's what they're in there for. Correction officers are in there voluntarily. You signed up to go in there and work a job. So how do you guys go in there and then, think about it. Think about it. They go to the diner. down from the job. They're sitting there, they eating linguine pasta. They're talking like, yeah, man, that's how we're gonna do this, man. You're gonna say this and you're gonna say that, and that's how we're gonna do this, man. But the case may be, so long as you all got the same story, going on, we're gonna be alright, man. We're gonna be good. What does that remind you of? I thought it reminds me of Gambino, Lucci's, what's the other crime families they got? All of the crime families. That's what it reminds me. It reminds me of the mob going to their little Italian diner, sitting there and talking about how they're gonna organize or they're gonna kill people or whatever they're gonna do. That's what it sounds like. So these officers have a mob-like mentality. Wow. Check that. They got a mob-like mentality. They really think they're the mob. Wow, how do you think you're the mob? You're a correction officer. And then now they said that some of the officers are cooperating. I seen that coming. You know what I mean? It's not like you guys are tough. You guys are cowards. You're a pussy. You come in there and you start acting tough, obviously, but you're not. You're pussy. So of course, when the indictment's gonna come down, they're like, "Oh my God, I got a wife, I got a family. No, John made me do it, and John cleaned up the blood over here. And then I know about the other killings that them guys over there did. Yeah, of course they're gonna stop telling, man. These guys are they're not stand-up people. You know what I mean? They're not none of that, man. Listen, I remember I was in a box, man. What box was it? I was in a box, a lot of boxes, but I was in Orleans box. And, you had the officers in there, and they used to whoop niggas' ass. I'm talking about, you hear niggas screaming, like, and, I'm locked in my cell, but I hear niggas screaming and all that the case may be, and, nothing I could do about it. I'm in my cell, you know what I'm saying? Even though I was out my cell, if I didn't know the dude, I probably still wouldn't have done anything anyway, because it's like, all right, I'm going to help you out and do what? Fuck myself over? That makes sense? You know what I mean? I'm wrong. I believe in righteousness and all that. You know what I mean? But when it comes to sacrificing your life, man, that's big. But these guys, they used to be fucking dudes up. You hear grown men screaming, You hear they boots stomping on them, kicking them in and all that. So it's like, I used to be laid in my cell. I'm sitting here, and I'm so desensitized is that I'm hearing this and I'm just reading a book. Where most people might start crying, getting all emotional, like, oh my God, I can't believe they're killing somebody, you know what I mean? I'm just reading the book. And, the officers, they like me, because I was kind of hands-on. I'm in the box with beating niggas up, and, they like shit like that. So, and they used to come to my cell, look at my window, look at me. They be like, Ghost, what's up, man? I'm like, what's up, man? Come here, Ghost. Again, man, I like you, man. I'm like, okay, that's what's up, man. I appreciate that, man. They're like, yo, man, you heard that, man? Yeah, we fucked him up, man, because he want to rise against an officer. Nobody does that. And I'm like, hey, man, hey, you do what you do, man. And then they walked off. This is the mentality they have. They think that being an officer makes them fucking Captain America. That's what they think. Because they got the shirt with the American flag on it. They think they turn into fucking Captain America. And you are somehow inflicting justice on the people that are in the prison. This is the mentality that they have. And then you got to realize in life, I don't want to say most, I'm going to say a lot of people, especially in I would say the Western Hemisphere, which is, America, Europe, shit like that. People have the mentality that they are better than somebody else. This is what they base their self-confidence off. This is what they base their self-esteem off of. Like, I'm better than you because I am white and you're black, or you got color, so that makes me better than you. I ain't better than you because you were poor. You grew up in the hood. You ate peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I am better than you. Or I'm better than you because I live over here and you live over there. Or I'm better than you because I have a college degree in this and you're not even educated. So people base their self-esteem and their confidence off of being better than other people, instead of it coming from inside. Because once you know yourself, you know what you are and who you are, you know that things on the outside doesn't dictate you. You dictate things on the outside. So your confidence, your esteem, all of that comes from inside. It's an internal thing that emanates outwardly, not inwardly. But only 5% of the population know this. 95% doesn't know this. So they based everything else off outside stimulators and factors and things like that. So these officers feel like I am better than you because you're a criminal. You broke the law. You're in there. And you're a nigger or a spick, whatever you are, I'm better than you. And this is what they base their self-esteem and their confidence off. And this is why they walk around with their chest poked out, and they don't got no chest, but they're poking it out. And every chance they get, they're going to beat on you, jump on you. Every chance they get. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's not a fair fight. It's not a fair fight. I'll fight 4 or 5 guys. That's fair to me. But it's not a fair fight when you have all of the backing of New York State. You control the jails. You control the prisons. It's not a fair fight. You can't win. And then they're going to starve you in a box. They're not going to feed you. Oh, I didn't even tell you about that one. Oh, man. Listen, when you're in the box, you go to the box, and say you go to the box for, they said you assaulted an officer, which probably means that, you didn't do what the officer wanted you to do, or you said something slick or whatever, and then they whooped your ass and sent you to the box. So now you're in the box, you're broke up, you probably need medical treatment that you're not getting, and then on top of that, they don't feed you. They don't feed you, and they got cameras in the box. So you can try to grieve it. They have a system of, like filing formal complaints. It's called a grievance system. But you can write it down, document the date and the time of the incident and what took place, and then, send it to, first you got to send it to the grievance office, and then they got a hearing, and then, they deny whatever you're saying, the case may be. You send it to the superintendent for the appeal, and then if he denies that, and then you send it to Albany, the commissioner in Albany. But they don't care about none of that. Nobody cares. The grievance hearing don't care about that. Superintendent don't care. The commissioner in Albany don't care. They don't care. They don't care. Everything you're seeing now is all political, man. They don't care. Because if they cared, they would have solved this problem a long time ago. If I'm the commissioner of the New York State Department of Corrections, and I know I got vigilante officers in every single jail, beating inmates up, killing them, murdering them, assaulting them, knocking their teeth out, kicking them in the nuts. If I know this and I truly care, I am going to solve the problem. I am going to take care of that. Because as the commissioner, I am a part of law enforcement. So I have to enforce the law. And I'm not doing that if I'm letting officers in these prisons break the law with impunity. So they didn't care. They don't care. Now they're trying to make it seem like they care. And just think about the normalcy of things, right? Like a boxer, when they get into the ring with somebody, and then they start going at it and they're boxing, like it's just so normal for them, right? It's normal to box and weave and throw a hook and a jab. It's normal. If you seen the videotape of Robert Brooks being murdered, it was normal. It's a regular day at the office. They was in there laughing, smiling. Yeah, I showed you how normal this is. How normal this behavior is in this environment. It shows you that. So now what do you do about it? Now what do you do? I like to see this. And in the Robert Brooks case, they got some plea deals. I want to see these plea deals. I truly do. I got to see these plea deals. I want to see what you get for murder somebody that was handcuffed behind their back, that was completely defenseless. I want to see what kind of plea deal you're going to get for that. Please let me know. I got to see this one. And when I see it, I'm going to hit y'all back, man. Until next time.